Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is another Stitch with Me while I continue working on Modern Folk Embroidery's Fruits of Plenty sampler. I'm enjoying this very much. You can see, it will be a true crime story time, but you can see I'm stitching it upside down right now. Sometimes I will do that to make it easier to reach the side that I'm working on. As long as you keep your stitches in the same direction, it's not a problem. And given that it's only two colors, because if you have a bunch of different symbols, if you have a bunch of different colors, sometimes you can read the symbols wrong. Do you know what I mean? But this project is only two colors, so very easy to discern which is which. And yeah, I just discovered that it's easier sometimes to just flip it upside down to get to the other side. So you'll also see some threads on the front. That's where I just sort of ended it. And when I get to that point, I will cut those threads off, because then I have worked, I'm kind of cutting one off right now. I have worked my way to that thread and secured it underneath all the other threads on the back, if that makes sense. So I was off work yesterday, and it was a fine day. I'm glad this is in the viewfinder. I have a little bit of trouble when I go to record the Stitch with Me, making sure that everything is in the viewfinder. It's not as easy as you would think. It took some finagling on my part to get it the right way. So I am working today. Today is Thursday, August 19th, although we are almost to Friday, so I can't say I'm upset about that, right? But yeah, so remember, on this project, I'm using DMC. 3750 is the blue color, and then the light green color is 958. Love this project. I may even continue it into next week. I was going to switch projects, but I would love to get done this part, like this page, before I switch projects. We'll see. Who knows? But today's story is Anna Zwanziger. We're going to be calling her Anna because I'm not going to be saying that last name the whole time. So Anna was born in Nuremberg, Germany in 1760. Her father was a fairly prosperous innkeeper, but both parents died while Anna was only 5 years old, and she would spend the next 5 years shuttling from one reluctant relative to the next. In 1770, fate finally smiled on the young girl when she was taken in by a wealthy sponsor, kind of like Daddy Warbucks and Annie, right? This new benefactor provided her with a good education, and she grew to be a pretty and bright young lady. All the more surprising, then, that her guardian married her off to an alcoholic notary by the name of Zwanziger, twice her age. What? Okay. Anna's new husband was not cruel to her, merely neglectful. He spent every spare moment in the taverns, leaving her to her own devices. Just 15 years old at the time. What? She was 15 when she was married off? Are you kidding me right now? Anna got over her loneliness by burying herself in books. Oh, Anna. I know exactly what that's like. That was me as a kid, for sure. With a preference for melancholy works. Meanwhile, her husband continued to drink his way through the household budget and through Anna's inheritance as well. Fabulous. Left in a precarious financial position, Anna was forced into prostitution. Wow, her story just continues to get worse. Although she was picky about her clients, offering herself only to the upper echelons of society. Her husband appeared not to care about these activities as long as they kept him in drink. Nonetheless, a strong bond appears to have existed between them. Anna once left him for a lover, but he pleaded with her to return, and she did. They even divorced on one occasion, but were remarried within a day. What? No. When he died in 1796, Anna appeared distraught. In retrospect, it is by no means certain that she did not have something to do with his demise. Yeah. Anna was now 36 years old, and her youthful good looks had long since deserted her. Oh boy. Still, she hoped for a favorable marriage that would restore her to her former station. When no offers were forthcoming, she took up with a former lover, but the man was so cruel to her that she twice attempted suicide. Honey, no man is worth that. No. Eventually, she was reduced to earning her living as a housemaid, something she deeply resented. She made a point of ignoring the instructions of her employers and was fired from one job after the other. Oh my God, wow, okay. In March of 1808, Anna was employed as a housekeeper to an attorney named Glaser who lived at Kasendorf. Glaser was 50 years old, and Anna soon formed the opinion that he was in love with her. Was she delusional? She imagined herself the mistress of his household, restored to her former status. It was a picture that pleased her greatly. The only problem was that Glaser was already married, although he had been estranged from his wife for several years. There and then, Anna formed a devious plan. Oh boy. She wrote letters to the wife, urging her to seek reconciliation. At the same time, she encouraged her employer to make amends with his wife, and within weeks, both parties were convinced and the couple was reunited. That's pretty good, though. That's pretty devious, right? But the reunion would be a short one. Within a month of Mrs. Glaser returning to her husband, she became gravely ill, and by August 26, she was dead. Did Anna poison this woman? I'm thinking that's what it's going to be. Anna had by now decided that Glaser was not marriage material after all, and within days, she departed the home for a new employer, another lawyer named Groman, who lived in nearby Sanspareil. Groman, at 28, was much younger than Anna's previous employer, although he was severely afflicted by gout. This can be an extremely painful condition, so Groman was extremely grateful for Anna's tender and devoted care. She, in turn, began to interpret his gratitude as an unspoken declaration of love. She was devastated when Groman announced to his household staff that he was to marry someone else, not her. A wedding date was set and arrangements made for a grand ball on the estate to celebrate the newlyweds. But as the happy day approached, Groman was struck down suddenly by a mysterious illness that left him bedridden with diarrhea, vomiting, and severe abdominal pain. The illness lasted 11 days, during which Anna never left his side. Groman died on May 8, 1809. His death was put down to natural causes due to his long-term health issues. Anna was inconsolable. At 28, though? That's not natural causes. You know Anna's got something to do with this, right? So, not long after the death of Groman, Anna was offered employment in the home of a family named Gebhard. Mrs. Gebhard, who was in the final stages of pregnancy, was particularly pleased to have secured Anna's services, as she had heard of the diligence with which she nursed her former employer. And she would bring her special brand of tenderness to the Gebhard household, too. She was even present at the birth of the baby, which went off without a hitch. But just 3 days after the birth, Mrs. Gebhard was struck down by a mysterious ailment, and within a day she had died in agony. Stepping into the breach as always, Anna took over the care of the infant and nursed it as tenderly as if it were her own. This undoubtedly endeared her to the grieving Gebhard, who praised Anna's qualities as a nursemaid. When friends of the family urged him to get rid of her, calling her a jinx, he flatly refused. The common denominator with all these people is Anna. Yeah. So over the months that followed, a pall seemed to hang over the Gebhard residence. Several of the servants, as well as some visitors, developed minor stomach complaints and bouts of vomiting. No one thought too much of it until September 1st, 1809, when Gebhard invited friends around to play Skittles. What the hell is that? Some kind of game. and the entire contingent became ill after drinking some beer that Anna had brought up from the cellar. After that incident, Gebhard's friends renewed their pleas, and he eventually agreed to dismiss Anna, although he furnished her with an excellent testimonial, meaning he gave her a really good recommendation, okay? Anna was deeply hurt by her dismissal and particularly distressed about having to leave the baby in the care of someone else. On the day she was to leave, she was seen filling the salt cellars, something that was not usually part of her duties. Before she left, she prepared hot chocolate for her employer and several of the servants, and she also gave the baby a cup of milk. Within 20 minutes of Anna's departure, everyone who had partaken of her hot chocolate was suffering stomach cramps and vomiting. The baby, too, was ill, although thankfully she would recover. When some of the servants warned Gebhard against using the salt cellars, saying that they had seen Anna tampering with them, he scolded them for making unfounded allegations. Still, he was suspicious enough to send the containers for chemical analysis. They were all found to be contaminated with arsenic. We knew she was doing something. And yet, even with clear evidence that Anna had tried to poison his entire household, Gebhard was reluctant to report her to the authorities. He fretted over the issue for a month and was only spurred into action when he received a letter from Anna demanding her job back. Anna was arrested in October 1809. She initially expressed outrage that anyone would suspect her of being a murderess, but the evidence against her was stacking up pretty quickly. Aside from the arsenic in the salt cellars and the testimony of the servants who had seen her tampering with them, there was forensic proof. Several of her victims had also been exhumed and found to have been poisoned with arsenic. Oh, Lordy. We knew that, right? Confronted with this evidence at her trial in April of 1810, Anna collapsed to the floor and suffered an apparent seizure. After she was revived, she stunned the courtroom by confessing, "Arsenic," she said, "has been my truest friend. I killed them all and would have killed more if I had had the chance." Wow, okay. Anna was publicly beheaded in Nuremberg on September 17, 1811. Before the blade fell, she told her executioners, "It is better for the community that I should die, as it would be impossible for me to stop poisoning people." Okay. Wow. I don't even know what to say to that. This is a really short one, by the way, but that's okay. Wow, it would be impossible for her to stop poisoning people? That's frightening. But yeah, arsenic was the poison of choice back in those days for sure. We've seen so many stories like that. And I need to go find a positive affirmation because, again, I keep forgetting to bring the book into my office. Okay. I'm trying to find one to read today. Okay, here's a really good one. And I know I probably need to bookmark this site because this is 40 of them. So this is from Louise Hay, who has actually written a bunch of affirmation books and things. I've read some of her stuff. I really like it. So this quote is from the book, You Can Heal Your Life. And it's very simple. I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. I need to put that in like where I can see it because, there are some days I sit here and I wonder, am I doing the right thing? Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, I am in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. Okay. I like that very much. Yeah, I'm going to bookmark this site. Okay, guys, so I'm going to end it here. I know today's was a short one, but got to get in here. Got to get my workday started. So as always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.